Welcome to one more edition of Politics Done Right. I'm Egberto Willies, your host. Today we are honored, and when I say honored, I mean honored to have the one and only Joseph Madison. Joe Madison, also known as the Black Eagle, with his program on the Sirius XM network. Joe is in Dallas, my neck of the woods in Texas. I am in his neck of the woods, Washington, D.C. So we transpose. Welcome to Politics Done Right, Mr. Madison. How are you doing today?
I must be honest with you. You just got me at full time. And I'll tell you why.
Okay.
Last night and to the wee hours of the morning, the United States Senate could not come to an agreement on voting on the two Voting Rights Act. And now they have kicked the can down the road until after January 3rd. I must tell you, as I was leaving from Beaumont, Texas, because I had a commitment that I had made months before I announced my hunger strike, November 8th, and I had to. It was for a scholarship fund for the NAACP youth. I promised that I would keep that, but I just found out that this is what the Senate has done, and I'll just be quite candid. I'm pissed. I am beyond disappointment, and my first initial thought, and I've not shared this with anyone because I just happened to get the announcement a few minutes ago, is that clearly what they have done is put their concerns, their rules over the right to vote, not only for African Americans, but for all of us. And the sad thing is, and people ought to know, they confirmed several ambassadorships. They confirmed several judgeships. And you would think with an issue such as voting rights, which is nonpartisan, that they could have simply taken a vote and put the filibuster aside. Now, of course, the Republicans are equally to blame because not one of them would even vote to protect our rights. So you're getting my visceral reaction to this news. And let me say on your program right now that I'm going to continue this hunger strike.
Oh my God,
I am.
Joe, I was going to ask you that because I'm concerned now because you've been at this for a long time now. You've lost a lot of weight.
Let me interrupt. Yeah, I've gone from 194, I guess, let's see, before I left DC, I was down to 169. But let me tell you, and I'm saying this to everybody, don't be concerned about me. You better be concerned about this country. Right. You better be concerned about democracy. That's what you really should be concerned about. Now, people have sacrificed a lot more than food to get our voting rights and to maintain them. And I appreciate people's concern. I appreciate people's love, and I appreciate their support. But my pat answer now will be that we should be more concerned, not about any one individual. We should be concerned about this country and what the hell is going on in the United States Senate and our government.
Now, Joe, it behooves me that, as Senator Warnock said on the floor, that it was okay for them to bend the rules for the debt ceiling, as well as bend the rules for, I don't remember what's the other policy. What would the possibility be that Democrats, Manchin and Sinema, why would they not support this, even though they come out full cocked and they'll tell you, we support voter rights, but we're just not going to bend the filibuster for it?
Money. It's simple as that. And I'm not going to bite my tongue on
Explain.
this. Well, what I mean by that is contributions, contributors. This has to be about their campaign treasury. It cannot be about, first of all, the Constitution, because the filibuster is not in the Constitution. And as I mentioned to you, they nominated. They confirmed ambassadors.
Right.
They confirmed ambassadors. And obviously they may have had votes from the Republican side, but that's the whole point. You can confirm ambassadors, you can confirm judges, whether you use the filibuster or not, but you cannot pass two bills that protects the voting rights of quite honestly, all of us. I told the young people at the dinner yesterday, and I told them, this is day 41 for me. But
wow.
as I said to them, I mean, think about what these, there are now 525 laws that have been introduced in practically all
Every
the states.
state.
I think
Yes.
40, every state now. Maybe it's all every state now. I mean, to the point where there's poll taxes in Maine and New Hampshire. So if you're a student and you want to vote, choose to vote in Maine or New Hampshire and choose that as your domicile, you have to register your car.
Yes.
Do you know that in your state, in Texas, that they got rid of drop boxes?
Yes.
and
In Harris
one
County.
drop box. Thank you. And some people have to drive 10 miles to drop their ballot in a drop box. And where I'm now in Texas, throughout Texas, as you know, you can use a hunting license to register to vote, but you can't use a school ID.
Yeah.
A student ID. And it goes on and on. Wisconsin, senior citizens in nursing homes have to get up out of their bed, leave the nursing home, and go to the election clerk to register to vote. This is about nothing more than to suppress voting rights in this country. And so, like I said, no, I'm not. I'm going to continue this hunger strike. So that means that, like Thanksgiving, I will on Christmas. On New Year's, and until they come back on January 3rd. And I agree with Martin Luther King III, and when he said, "Don't even think about celebrating his father's birthday if you don't have these voting rights bills passed." It would be the height of hypocrisy. So I'm disappointed in both Republicans and some of the Democrats, particularly Manchin and Sinema. And my charge to everyone is, you should put the heat on them. I mean that. Put the heat on them, and let them know how disappointed we are, and that and so that's where I stand.
Now, let me ask you, Joe, are you going to continue to do your program every day of the week in this state? Because I know that you must be. It's difficult. I can see that it's difficult on you right now.
As long as I physically can, the answer is yes. And if for some reason I find that I can't, I'll call you.
Okay, great. I'll
No,
be here to.
no,
I'll be here for
I
you. But
mean,
let me just say,
no,
I'm
I
honestly,
will, I
I am
will, I will.
concerned that, let me tell you, you're a valuable asset to the movement. And yes, we want the hunger strike as an example of the movement. Somebody of your stature doing that
Well,
plays a role, but we also want you around, brother.
look, let me, and again, I say I appreciate that, but let me also say, you know, John Lewis was
Yes,
valuable to the Voting Rights Act, and he almost was beaten to death
yes,
on Bloody Sunday. Goodman, Schwerner, and Cheney, these are college students.
right.
They were valuable. Hey, on Christmas Day, when people on Christmas Day, I want you to remember a couple, Reverend Moore and his wife.
Mm-hmm.
They were involved in voter uh, registration in Florida, in a county in Florida. And on Christmas Day, the Ku Klux Klan, because Reverend Moore was doing voter registration, and he was head of the NACP in that county, they actually burned his house down and killed both Reverend Moore and his
Wow.
wife on Christmas Day. They were valuable.
Right.
So that's why I say is that people have sacrificed a lot more than solid food, and these senators need to hear from us, and they need to understand that 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 the as I've said, as if food is essential to sustain life, the vote is essential to sustain democracy.
Democracy,
And
absolutely.
they passed it up.
Mm-hmm.
They actually passed it up yesterday and into the wee hours of the morning. And so I think the next thing, you know, and I'm not trying to be cute about this, but you know, when I watch young people using their social media, and isn't it fascinating how a kitten scratching its ass can get 1 million hits, and
Yes,
you know, and we have to get serious about this.
I agree.
Yeah, we really have to, and these members. And here's the deal: while they're home, we should be in front of their houses. We should be in their offices. We should wear their asses out.
We'll do that. In fact, I'm going to throw this video out as a call to order from somebody who has skin in the game. Look, give me your closing words, Joe, because I mean, like I said, we're all admiring what you're doing, and we want to get more folks involved here. So give us a closing words.
My closing words are very simple, and someone said this a long time ago, that there is a difference between a moment and a movement, and all movements, and the difference is that all movements require sacrifice. All movements require sacrifice. People sacrificed in South Africa to have the right to vote. People sacrificed during the women in the suffrage movement. They went on hunger strikes. They sacrificed. During the end of the first Reconstruction, people
Yes.
sacrificed to get their voting rights back. And the first thing that the former Confederate folks went after was the right to vote. So here's what I'm saying: it doesn't take a lot of sacrifice. It really doesn't. To pick up the phone, use social media, march, demonstrate, whatever it takes to get these bills passed. John Lewis would expect it of us. Rosa Parks would expect it of us. And as Martin III said, his father would expect that of us.
Joe Madison, the Black Eagle, thank you so kindly for having been on Politics Done Right. We are going to make sure to get your word out, my brother. you are part of the necessary part of the movement, sir.
Well, I look, I appreciate, and what you're doing is important because, people could ignore this situation, but thank goodness that you're there doing what you're doing. I appreciate it. I
Thank you,
really do.
sir.
Thank you
You
so
have a
much.
safe
Okay.
trip, okay?
Okay, promise. Thank you.
We spend a lot of time deconstructing the news, trying to parse it into a form that everybody can understand. We try to find those little nitpicks where it flies above the fray, etc. If you really like these videos that we do, I want to ask a big favor. Please go ahead. Number one, subscribe to our channel, and number two, please join if you can. Thank you so kindly for watching. Keep watching. Please remember to share. We must populate the entire internet with our progressive message, a message that we know is what most Americans say that they want. So help us, please join.